Hello, everybody. What's going on? My name is Tommy James, a.k.a. Mr. Oh So Smooth, and I'd like to welcome you to the first ever episode. I guess that's how I'm going to say it, with Growing Up with Movies. And, of course, I have my co-host here, Mr. A-Town Ryan.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Episode. No, wrong show. Sorry.
Wrong show.
I know. That's my other show.
Wrong show. And if you're just a wrestling... Oh, nope. Still wrong show. Wrong show.
This is something new, sir.
This is a new show. This is Growing Up with Movies. We are the movie guys. Okay, because I always say I'm the movie guy.
I finally realized you're the movie guy. I'm a movie guy.
There you go.
That's how we're going to
The movie guy, a movie guy. I like that. That works out really well. And first and foremost, I want to shout out to Gil Guitarist. That's my boy that actually just did the intro.
Shout out to Gil.
Shout out to Gil. You've met Gil before. And he did that little riff for us, which it was really nice, really cool, and exciting.
I may have to hit up Gil for another show.
Oh, I think he might like anime too, so it might actually work. Might actually work out in that sense. So for those people out there that don't know what's going on, we are doing a brand new show, movie-based only show called Growing Up with Movies, and what we're going to do is me and Mr. A-Town Ryan, we're going to start in the year that, funny enough, it works out because we were both born
1987.
We're going to give you 12 movies in each year as we continue to grow up with movies. Of course, we'll go back to thy classics.
Of course.
When we want to go back in the day. If there's any new releases that come out, we'll, of course, give you our reviews for those. But like I said, every episode, a different movie. And, of course, we also have nice little segments for you as well. And it's going to be really exciting. But the first segment I'd like to start with Mr. A-Town is, hey, what you watching?
What I'm watching? All right. Well, this week, shout out to Netflix, because one thing we should also preface by saying we start this in year 2020.
Yeah, this started in the year of 2020.
There has been barely any films released in theaters. I can't remember in 2020. This will be the first year where there's no MCU movie film being released. The only movie that has been released is Tenet. And from what I've heard, that's not a movie you should waste to go watch, because that's a movie you got to watch plenty of times over. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I haven't watched it yet because it's on bootleg copy. So that's not what I'm watching. I tried it, but I heard the sound quality was so bad. I'm like, then why the hell would I watch this on bootleg? Let me wait till they get a good quality release. But I was watching is on Netflix a movie called Enola Holmes.
Enola Holmes. That's a Millie Bobby Brown, right?
Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill as Sherlock himself.
Henry.
And I got to say, I like it. It's a very pleasant film. You could tell it's like a lot of girl power, but they do it the right way, where they don't tell you, they show you. Like, everything she does in it, like her mother is Sherlock. See, when I first saw like the previews, I thought she was like Sherlock and Mycroft, who's also in it. I thought they were like they had a different mother. No, she raised all three of them, but she raised Enola by herself, because by then Sherlock and Mycroft were already grown, so they already left. So basically, she grows up by herself, being trained by a mom, played by Helena Bonham Carter.
Nice.
And like she's almost as smart as Sherlock. She knows how to fight, but you see it like throughout the movie. Even though she knows these things, practicing it in real world situations, she's not a Mary Sue, because she gets her ass kicked.
Okay.
There's one point where I was like, wow, Millie Bobby Brown really gets her ass kicked, because she has to fight an assassin and he fucks her up.
Okay.
But they play it like, oh, she's gonna rise. Nope. He kicks her while on the floor. I was like, oh, I like this movie. And I gotta say, Henry Cavill, I know Robert Downey, he's Sherlock in the movie space. I would love to see a movie where he plays him. Because I don't know, man. I'm a fan of Henry Cavill.
I like Henry Cavill.
And like, he just plays it so straight, where I'm like, I wanted you to be on screen. Well, I get it. Enola, it's about her. Millie Bobby Brown did great. But every time he was on screen, I'm like, I want more of that.
All right. That's
But they're going to do sequels, because it lends itself for multiple stories with her. Maybe even...
Right.
It won't be a series, because she doesn't have that. She's already got a series with her.
Yeah.
As a movie series, continuing down the line, I definitely see like 2 or 3 more easily.
Oh, okay. I got to check that out. I actually... I seen it. Yeah. I didn't watch it yet, but it does sound like something that I would be able to sit there and watch.
Nice, pleasant.
It's good to know.
What were you watching?
I got to be honest with you. I haven't really watched anything new lately.
Yeah.
I've been going back to the old movies because I know there's a lot of crap out there. Like, I kind of want to watch New Mutants knowing I know it sucks. Like, I know it sucks, but it's like I got to watch it just to be like, I've watched them all. So I get... Next time, I know I'll have a movie to talk with what I'm watching, because like I said, been sticking back to like the old stuff because I like to enjoy myself when I watch movies too. Sometimes I just say screw it and don't bother. But all right, in that case, now it's time to get into Tommy James Limited Collection. Oh, hear the sound, hear the sound, hear the sound, hear the sound. Indeed. Okay, so as I can't say as you know, but for the new listeners out there, which is everyone, every time I'm going to talk about a brand new movie that I brought on into my limited collection. These are movies that I don't actually open up. I like to keep them in their nice, pretty little cases, of course, with the plastic on it. So this time, Mr. A-Town, I added the Rocky Horror Picture 45th anniversary. It's a steel bookcase, okay, limited edition. But check it out. Check the artwork on that. I'm going to post it up on our IG so everyone can see as well.
Back, Meatloaf on the bike.
Yes, Meatloaf on the bike.
See them? Okay.
Great artwork, though. And that's one thing I like about like a lot of these like limited edition kind of like steel bookcases or even just limited collections and whatnot. The artwork is what's really interesting.
Sweet. I like
it.
it.
And I really like it.
Never open, never must have never.
No, the thing is, I actually have the another one that's a 45th anniversary. That one I can now open because this one's not going to be open.
There you go.
So yeah, that right there is brand new to Tommy James Limited Collection. I'm going to put that up there on our IG page for everybody to see. And if you get the same one, hey, let me know you got it because I tell you, I love the movie.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of the movie. So, like, to add on to that, I think, great. It works well in my collection. All right. Well, there's my limited collection. Now, it's time to move on to the next one.
Okay, children, let's take our seats.
It's time for Mr. A-Town Ryan's Read a Movie.
Read a Movie. And for today's Read a Movie is a book that I have been pushing that I think at this point is probably going to get a movie. And it's called Scythe. Now, It's Also Smooth, I have put it up for you to read.
And I had the audiobook of the first one.
And how far did you get?
Almost to the end.
Oh, so okay, so you've seen,
I've seen I've heard a good
read.
enough.
Yeah, I've seen, read. All right. But this book is going to, I can't wait. Because it's written by Neil. You know, I got Joel on the mind based on
the movie we're going to talk about.
Yeah. It's written by Neil Schusterman. He's a best New York Times best-selling author. He's wrote many books before. I've actually gone back and read all his other books as well.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because he used to work in production, like mostly television.
Okay.
So the way he writes his books is literally as a movie. It's like all his books, as you read it, reads like a script. So I know he's in talks for Scythe because this was the biggest one. Came out last year, and then the rest of the trilogy was slowly released. So as you read it, I already have the movie in my head. The only issue with me and books, I'm the TV guy of Second Rounds Entertainment. So I always go see TV show first.
Right.
This, funny enough, can actually fit in a movie. The only issue I would say is the problem with most of these books into movies, they exposition dump. And that shit gets fucking annoying. Mm-hmm. Do not waste 20 minutes talking. Another movie that we'll probably mention, especially on this segment, Ready Player, You Know What?
Yep.
Where I'm going to have to touch on that. Do not waste time talking. This is a book where you can just show most of what you need to portray. It takes place in a society in the future where immortality has been solved.
Yep.
Basically, you see how we have the group, and he lends itself to things happening now to sort of make way for the future. So there's things called, like, basically the cloud. It evolves into what's called the Thunderhead, where it is a fully functioning AI. It has solved human immortality. You can die and be revived at a reviving station.
Yep.
And so when you die, you don't die. They call you get deadish.
Deadish, right.
And your body gets revived. So human life lives forever. It solves its sole purpose. Think Terminator, but with a good conscience, whose sole ability is to make you happy. And not happy in a twisted, what you want, I will give it to you.
Yep.
So the problem with that and with society, that when you have everything you want, you lose what you call like your drive. Why? I will never die.
Yeah, I'm never
going
gonna
to
die.
Can be given to. So what they did is they realized people have to die. So what was created? This group of people, similar like the Jedi, I always compare to that, called the Scythes, where their sole job is to kill indiscriminately.
Grim Reaper.
Grim Reapers. There you go. And just and like the way the book sets up like the first into the world is so amazing. I was like, I like this. and I could see that the only it would have to be 2 hours, definitely 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, don't waste time talking. A lot of what you need to portray, just show it. Make it that the world that we're in, because this world is amazing. And one thing about Neil Schusterman, he knows how to write worlds.
Okay.
So all you have to do is just show the world. Let the audience understand, oh, this is the world. Give a little bit, say a human. Even if you want to do a crawl, just do that, maybe.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Just do a crawl, but like, I hope it's successful.
It's most likely if they do it, is going to be narration anyway.
Yeah, it'd probably be. Just don't take forever. Just think it, and that's the main thing. I don't want to spoil too much of it. I recommend you go read it. That's why I'm trying to like be as vague as possible. So I later put this would be. I can't wait for this because it's probably going to be a movie.
Yeah.
And with him, he knows production. He write when you read it or listen to it, it sounds like he set stage the way his writing on, and it's just that's it, man. Scythe. Definitely, I recommend that.
All right.
I can't wait.
I remember, like I said, I've listened to it. I've gotten pretty far, pretty much towards the end of it. It's really enjoyable, and especially somebody like me that's not the biggest fan of reading itself because I'm constantly moving. Like my mind's got to go left and right, and I can't just sit down.
It takes a discipline to sit down and read.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't technically. This series, I'm on to the last book, the Unwind series that he's done.
Okay.
I'm up to the last book, and I had stopped for months, so I have to go back and finish because. I was exhausted. It was during like the full lockdown where I had so I had no time. But once we started being able to go out, I kind of like laxed back into it. But I have to finish. But yeah, like you said, it's very hard.
Yeah, you got to get that mindset of just being able to sit down and reading. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was really interesting. The world is amazing, and it's like exciting. I mean, one thing is if they do make this movie, which I have heard that it is eventually going to happen. That the beginning scenes are going to be amazing. It's going to feel like watching Dead to me.
Yeah.
And they say just the Grim Reaper kind of just walking around here and then just, hey, man, so.
And they're regular, and that's the other thing about it. They're regular people. They're not supernatural at all.
No, they're just people.
They're just regular people that they get treated like very celebrities.
Yeah.
But it's, you're killing people. And when you see them, you get scared like, shit, is it my turn?
Yeah.
But it's just,
That is definitely a book, everybody out there, you definitely have to check out. I will also recommend that as well. And there's 2 other ones after it, right?
There's Thunderhead and there is The Toll.
Thunderhead and The Toll. Okay. Which that's pretty good because that means they could turn this into 3 movies.
Trilogy.
Or a trilogy, or maybe they'll do that like 4.
Because I don't even want to call this young adult, even though I guess that is the label. It is, and it has young adults, but it's so it seems like more than that to me.
Okay, all right. So that's good. Thank you, Mr. 8-Town. That's Mr. 8-Town's Read a Movie. So right before now, we're going to get into the nitty of the gritty. But before we do that, we got to take our email from the new movie lover. That's right. We have an email, Mr. 8-Town.
What is this?
We have an email, and this person emailed us and this is what they said. I'll read it to you real quick. Dear Alex and Tommy, really love the show, though I haven't heard one episode yet. My name is Kyle from Yazoo City, Mississippi. Oh, wow. I'm 38 years old, and I've never watched any movies in my entire life. What?
That's
sad. Okay. After hearing about your show, I will finally face my fears in the movie watching experience and follow the trail of breadcrumbs you guys leave for me to make it home to Movie Land. My plan is to watch every single movie you guys discuss and give you my opinion afterwards. I'll be back next week with my review after hearing your episode. Good luck with the new show, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate that, man. I love that. Kyle gives us and shouts us out, and we haven't even had an episode yet, so that's pretty cool. And I hope he enjoys his movie trail, as he mentioned, the trail of the breadcrumbs.
Hopefully, we lead you right and not into a ditch.
Yeah, hopefully not. But and speaking of hopefully not leading into a ditch, it's time to get into that nitty gritty. So before we do that, of course, also, this is being produced and brought to you by Second Rounds Entertainment, as Mr. A-Town mentioned before, which, of course, where this round of entertainment is on us. Okay, so as you know, we're starting in 1987.
1987.
Mr. 8-Town, you have decided to choose the first movie.
Yes.
Let's hear.
The year 1987. On January 18th of that year, a young lad was born named Alex. Not giving you my full government. Fuck you.
That works. That's fair.
And a little man named Joel Schumacher directed a little movie.
He did.
That he did not believe. Well, I don't know how he felt about it at the time, but it was very.
Well, he wasn't the original director. He had to come in after.
Oh, see, I didn't know.
It was Donner, I think, the producer.
Ah, really?
He was originally
Richard Donner, yes.
Richard
yes,
Donner
yes.
was originally directing
Richard
it.
Donner originally, yes, he did. Because I remember seeing that and like, Superman?
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, they have the flying scenes. Like, he knows how to do those things. But yes, Richard Donner, and yes, eventually got finished up by Joel Schumacher. Written by Jan Fisher, James Jeremias, and a bunch of other people that are very important to it, but not for this.
Yeah.
Time for that. And of course, it stars Jason Patric, Corey Haim, Diane West, Bernard Hughes, Edward Herman, and Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer.
Which is funny because when you look at like the credits, you think he would be higher.
But this was young Kiefer.
That's what it is. And then I realized, oh, well, from our view, he's the biggest star on this list. But at the time, it was Corey Haim and Feldman. But the movie's The Lost Boys.
Yes, The Lost Boys.
Lost
in the
Boys.
shadows. The song of the 80s.
Yo, when the moment I put it on and I'm watching, I'm like, all right, let's go. And I hear it, I'm like, oh, it's this movie.
Yeah.
It's this one. And again, my initial to me, it starts very slow. Okay, well, no, from the first scene where they get grabbed, but it was like, from my point of view, I'm like, all right, I know that, but from then on, I was like,
that's a main scene.
that is a
big
main scene, but it's like you don't know what the hell's going on.
Right, yeah.
So, and to me, after a while, then I guess they're laying. Now, when the movie ends and I go back, I'm like, oh no, these were all. It's just that at the time, again, I've never seen it before. This is my first time.
Oh, this is your first time watching this?
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, I picked it. That's why I picked. I was like, that's why I like doing like this. It's gonna be great because a lot of movies that I just, I mean, no, most of these movies that we'll cover, I've seen plenty of times. But this, I was like, let me start with something I've never seen before.
Wow.
So all of this is fresh for me.
That's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, never saw it. So this was all, I'm seeing this all through fresh eyes. And one thing about like, especially movies in the 80s, the way they do it with editing and like the way they do it, there's barely any music. Throughout, only like very specific points, I guess, given the technology. It's not like, okay, most of these movies now, there's always a running track running throughout. Here, it gets very quiet. It's just a lot of it is on location. Sound is very little ADR unless they really have to.
Right.
So it's all in the moment. So I always remember I have to get used to that. I have to get used to that in the moment sound. So like when you get you get introduced, like they go to the carnival, they go to the grandfather who's amazing. I think he's the best. He's my favorite. I'm sorry. I love the grandfather.
I love the grandfather. He also has the best line at the end of the movie.
And because it's like, motherfucker, you knew?
Yeah, he knew the whole time.
You fucking...
He knew the whole time.
At no point... And because the way I got scared... I know, I'm jumping... But just... All right, we'll get to him. But yeah, just like you see the dog. You see why they moved the mother who's a little space case.
Yeah, she's a little out there.
Fucking weird. I'm like, hey, man, you know why?
Come on, Sam.
And then Michael. Oh, speaking of Michael. Holy
Michael.
shit.
Michael.
Again, I watched it. How many times? And I looked at I even texted you.
118.
100. Hey, Michael.
You got to think, Kiefer Sutherland probably hates that name because he says it the most.
Yes.
Michael.
Come join us, Michael.
Michael. You one of us, Michael? Michael. Like,
And I like how they choose their victims where it's like, all right, you fuck with us. Guess what? Now we're going to have to kill you.
that actually makes sense,
Yeah.
though. Like that sense of being like, because he mentions it like, you never die.
Yeah.
You never grow old, but
Forever.
you have to feed.
Yeah.
So their thing is just,
right.
if you fuck with us,
Guess what? You're on the list.
you're on the list.
That's
You
it.
made the list. So, and I can see myself, if I was in that position, I'd probably be the same way.
Yeah.
The next person that pisses me off, you're next.
And that's why, because again, never saw. So I was worried about Michael when he started fucking with the girl.
Star,
And
yeah.
I was worried, like, when they did the race to the cliff, which was like.
That was Lost in the Shadow.
Lost, yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're going to kill you, bro. Now realizing, well, no, it's like, we like you because you stood up to us.
Right.
And he's like, you and me, right here. And they all just start laughing. And then all of a sudden you see Alex Winter come out of nowhere. Like,
Alex Winter.
what the hell is Bill doing?
He was Marco.
I felt bad for him, though. Like, they really killed him. Like, really?
What? You know what? We'll get into that
yeah.
too, because I do have a little thing when it comes to that. The one thing, though, I will say, right off the bat,
Yeah.
the first person we get a view of is Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
Okay. And this Joel Schumacher and Donner, this made vampires look different
And-
from compared to I will suck your blood.
And I'm
He's a bad mother.
And I'm spoiled by that too because I only know the new way.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was the blueprint.
Yes. Yep.
So again, that's one thing when you look at when I'm like, all right, I've seen this, not realizing, oh no, this is where it starts.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, like with David. Then I'm like, well, I've seen Angel, I've seen Buffy, I've seen Spike. Well, they said Spike is inspired.
Yep.
Well, by more David, yeah, like a combination of the two.
Yeah.
They said more David, like with the blonde hair, the whole punk
the
rock,
jacket, like the punk rock.
They said, Joss Whedon said he was inspired by the Lost Boys.
Yep.
For his whole look.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense because he, like, I know I get to that the grandfather is definitely a top character. I think David's the best character in the movie.
Yeah.
It's the best acted.
Yeah.
You know, he's I can't say. I mean, I want to say he's the best actor in the full film.
The guy, the other guy, because the head. Well, see, I don't know. Well,
Richie Rich's father.
He's because he's the most experienced.
Right, he's the most experienced.
That's he was doing Shakespeare. He was doing all that classical stuff before this. Because even when you do the reveals, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, and it does. It does make sense when the reveal actually happens. Because I mean, you're just like, yeah. He was there at the beginning. The situation when they're in there, and he's like, I thought I told you to stay out of here. And it's like just how they're with it, just like, okay, and they just leave.
Yeah, because they go into the record store. So you're thinking, oh, they want to fuck with it. Because I swore he was going to get killed first.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, they're going to kill the cool boyfriend because they think he's the top. Again, that's what I give the movie props for, is that they did a good job. They subverted your expectations by subverting your expectations.
Yep.
Because the kids were right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's the head, but why? But they make you think, no, that's just a bunch of kids being jealous of their mom meeting a new guy.
Yeah,
no,
and he says it too. I'm not trying to replace your father, which just came out of nowhere. He's like, look, I get what's going on here. And then Corey felt, you do? Yes. Look, I'm not trying to replace your father. You're like, wow, dick. Because that's a dick answer.
Yeah.
That's the first time they met. Like, what a dick answer.
So it makes you as the audience like, oh, I can't wait for him to get killed. Because it's like, they're going to get him first. He was in there, the record store. He's bothering them. No, he was telling them, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
They were listening to Master.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. It's like, no, get out of here. Okay.
Yeah, and they started
they laughed at it.
Like we're gonna kill you. I'm thinking we're gonna kill you. Like, no, boss said we gotta go.
Boss said to go. We out.
I was like, very well done.
Yeah, I love it too. And the cool part is even like going back to Michael, that fucking name. Going back to Michael. Originally, he was supposed to be killed because Star said you were supposed to be my first kill.
Yeah,
but obviously it didn't turn that way.
She wasn't fully turned.
No, because she didn't kill yet.
But
you have to make your first kill.
Who did he kill?
Who?
Michael.
He didn't kill anybody. You're the bite. He never bit anyone. Neither did she.
But he had the power. That's what I'm saying. They never showed her transform.
She never transformed. No.
But because the little kid, I'm like, oh, anytime again, little kid.
That shit was freaky.
Interview with the vampire with fucking
Kirsten Dunst.
That shit fucks me up.
Yeah.
Kid vampires fuck me up.
Yeah.
All right, because that's unholy. They even said, I think they said that in that movie, like, this is not right.
Yeah.
Do not turn kids because now they're trapped in that body and they're stuck with all those kid hormones and it makes them fucking unstable.
Yep.
Classic vampire rules. Do not turn children.
That's right. They're stuck as a child.
And stuck in, because she even said, like, I know just a little thing. She even said, look, I'm stuck in this body. I can't age. I can't mature as a woman. Yet I've lived all this thing, and it's frustrating. And that's what. So when the kid saw, I was like, oh, why they fucking with the kid?
Yeah, I know.
And he was weak too.
And he was a weak kid
I'm
too.
like, you think you should be at least stronger?
Yeah.
They're smacking him around.
Yeah. That does the best part. It's like, when he goes up and
get the fuck away.
It's like a stupid ass kid. And we'll get into Interview with a Vampire definitely later on because that definitely will come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael was originally, in storyline purposes, he was supposed to die, but Star didn't go for the kill.
Yeah.
And then. You know what I hate though? Like they bring him into the freaking hotel because that's what it was used to be, a hotel. And you get this big ass freaking photo of freaking Jim Morrison right there, which is great because in the beginning they played "People Are Strange," which is a Doors song, and they're just like, Don't get me wrong. The part when he's like, yeah, Chinese. Here you go, Michael.
Here you go, Michael.
How's your maggots?
And you see him like,
oh, it's
and
so
then
good.
it's like, it's rice. Like, what the fuck games are you playing?
Yo, I was so confused because I mean I've seen this movie many times, but I remember sitting there going, "How did he do that?"
Yeah, because I guess, but it's it's again I know my vampires.
Okay.
It's charm. It's a charm they do. That's how they get their victims. They put you in sort of like a trance-like
trance
state.
thing.
And that's why again, I did not know this. Well, I mean they used to do it back in old days, but with like starting with the Lost Boys turns out, and like further on. They want like it's cool, like they're in the moment. Like if you look at Blade when they're all in the club, it's the charm that's being put on them.
Yeah,
it makes it's almost like it makes a victim more susceptible. I hate saying that fucking word. Susceptible.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure I fucked it up. It's susceptible where it's like you're easier to bring in. So that's a version of the charm.
Like a you taste better kind of like how Pennywise has to scare you more to make you taste better type of thing.
That's simple mind games.
But it's hilarious.
Yeah, and then he gave him the...
It's worms.
And by the way, I was hungry
noodles.
at the time, and I'm watching, I'm like, you're wasting good noodles.
Yeah.
Like, my friends, like, Joe, what are you doing? You're wasting good noodles.
You're wasting good noodles. It's
I don't
worms.
care if it's worms. I'm like, I get it, but dude, pick it up, brush it off, eat it.
Yeah, you could have still ate that. Like, come on, man, you got to be like that. And then they make him drink David's blood.
Well, was it David?
It was David's blood.
Now, what? So you could drink any vampire's blood in return.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they say it was David's blood.
Okay, but they could have been lying.
Well, that's true. It could also been.
It could have been the head guy's blood. Because
Max, I think
it has to be the head person to turn, right? Because then they all become there under him. Because
technically, because then technically, when David does eat eat the bullet, he's still fine.
That's what I'm saying.
He didn't turn yet.
Why I don't think it was David's blood.
So it had to be the other guy.
But they just lied to him. Yeah, it had to be Max because that's what's like, yo, we're still the same. Like nothing's changed.
Yeah, I don't feel any different.
Because again, it's whoever turns you, you're under their thrall.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
So that would make sense then.
So they simply lied to him.
Yeah, then it's like,
or maybe she didn't know either.
That's possible too. Maybe
true,
she didn't know.
Yeah, because they were all gung ho to kill. Yes, because that would be how a good head vampire would do it. It's like, no, I'm not gonna put myself out in the open. I got
my boys. He even said he calls them my boys.
My boys and my boys, and we're all one big happy.
Yeah, we'll be one big happy family. What? You sick bastard!
Yo.
But let's what about the death scenes? We'll start with we'll go vampire wise. So let's start with Alex. At that point, Alexander Winter. Alexander Winter.
Ooh.
He gets the first stab. Corey Feldman stabs him.
Don't
stakes him.
stop. You get the first one, you keep fucking going.
But here's my question to you, and this is what I have to ask you: when they go in there, and he says, Corey Feldman says it.
Yeah.
Who's the head vampire? Yeah. Michael says, well, not Michael. It would be because Michael was actually with Star. Sam goes, I don't know. You think Michael would say it's David?
David. It's a guy.
Black coat, long sticky up hair.
80s writing boy.
Yeah. And he just said, screw it.
And just
bang. Which is great. And they all wake up.
I'm gonna kill you. Then he's trying. So he pull him in this. I really thought they were gonna get him.
Yeah, it was close.
Because I'm like, yo, again, are you strong or not?
He's supposed to be, pretty strong, but he was stuck between like with the sunlight,
and he was still sleeping hibernation.
Right,
he's like tonight,
right? Because they're not strong in the daytime. Hence why even Michael was all weak and shit when he was walking because it's still daytime.
And he was slowly turning. But even like that whole transformation where he's going after the brother and the dog's like,
the dog goes right after him
because the dog knows. It's like, fuck.
They always say
dogs can sense. Yeah, they always say dogs has a better sense than most humans. Like again, that shit was hilarious when the brother sees him. He's like, "You're a fucking vampire, Michael, fucking bloodsucker.
Yeah.
Get away!" I'm like, "That's how you act?
Yeah,
that's your reaction. Get away from me, like, bro. You're annoying, bro. Like, it's a vampire.
You drank someone's blood. Gross,
bro." And he calls his friends like, "Hey, my brother's a vampire." Yo, Corey Feldman. Again, Haim, I can see, you know what it is? You could see Haim had the talent.
Yes.
Where I could see, like, if she didn't get fucked up, as they now say, all the shit they were doing to them in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he got the worst of it. Why? Because he was the more talented of the two.
Right.
I can see Haim, why he would have been a success. Feldman, I don't see it.
No, well, if you really think about it, Corey Feldman's a child actor, not successful when a game. He still does shit, but it's
Yeah.
not like, woo, Corey Feldman's in this movie.
Yeah. And like
to me,
back-
he's always Goonies.
Yeah, and back then I'm looking. That's what it was. This was after Goonies.
This is after
He was a little
Goonies.
Older, and he's doing the I'm
This is 1 year after Goonies.
and so that you could tell that shit went to his head.
Yeah.
'Cause you could tell he was putting on, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see the Corey Feldman everyone used to. And funny enough, I know he appears in the 2 quote unquote sequels.
He's in the sequels, yeah.
Don't want. I almost want to just dip just a look just to see what it looks like.
I might check it out because I know it's bad, but I might just check it out to check it
They
out.
made 2.
Yeah, they made
I know
2.
It's the Tribe, and I forgot the other one. I'm like, wow, y'all made 2 of these, huh?
Yeah.
I just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, they push the limits.
But again, him, the other friend was cool, but it's just that he's the voice, and I get what. Yeah, we're the cool. We're gonna kill. But they were so all over the place.
But I hated his voice too, because
Yes,
the way
the
he changed his voice, like, and then he was talking like this.
That's what the voice was like. I can't with the voice.
And you're like, why are you doing that? I mean, even Corey Haim was a little annoying half the time because
It
he
was.
get the high pitch, like
Yeah.
Michael, like, you know,
Michael.
and you're just like, oh, and it's just, I'll be right back, Michael. Like, God
What'd you do with
damn
my
it.
dog? What'd
Yeah.
you do with
What'd you do with a dog?
What'd you
I didn't
do?
do anything. That's my blood. Jason Patrick at his best.
Again, what is he? What else? Let me look up his.
Suppose
I gotta look him up.
I think he's in a lot of TV.
Okay, because
if
I
I'm not
tried
mistaken.
because I'm looking at his face. Like most of these, I can tell. I know that face.
Mm-hmm.
Him, like, okay, see, this is what he looks like, and then I'm looking. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, he was in Speed 2.
Oh, that's the boat one, right?
Yeah.
That one's bad.
Oh, he was in The Losers.
He was
okay.
in Sleepers. That's right. He's in Sleepers.
Okay, Kevin. Okay, all right. See, like, other than that, he didn't have a lot after this, in like terms of big names.
No.
Most of these guys, they at least shot some.
Well, we know Kiefer Sutherland went.
Well, I was 24.
Right up.
Decided to kill one person a 24-hour period in a season.
I know.
Great.
And then-
but see,
it's
and that's
great.
why he's always. That's why like, of everyone, he is the only one. And Richie Rich's dad, because he
Yeah.
was on. I told you like later on, he was on Gilmore Girls. He played the father,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something about the way his face is shaped.
He has a weird face.
He has a very
Yeah.
weird head shape and face where it's like, I can notice you anywhere.
Yep. I agree. That's even when he shows up, like in the movie, because I forgot he was in, it, and then I'm like, oh, that's Richie Rich's father. Nice. Head vampire. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
like,
sense.
Yeah, when you see him come, it's like, oh, it's him. Because that makes sense. There's mainly because like there's no more actors left.
Yeah, pretty much.
nobody left.
Like, who's going to be the surprise? Like,
Exactly. So I was like, yeah, okay, it was him.
it made perfect sense. And I do love the fact when they're like, but you passed the test. And he's like, you never invite a vampire into your house.
I remember seeing that scene. I'm like,
Amazing.
but they just do that to throw. I'm thinking they're throwing you off again, subverting your expectations of.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's why he asked him, "Aren't you going to invite me in?" son?
Genius.
You're invited.
Genius.
And meanwhile he's changing, and he probably knows that.
Yeah, he does.
And
He knows
then when
everything.
you look back at that scene, he's being smug about it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like this is like, I didn't invite you in this time.
With the deep, when he had the, I didn't invite you in this time. He started talking like Batman for a sec.
Exactly.
Get away.
But like like you said, well, you're going back to the kills. Those kills,
Yes, they were good.
they were good. Like the tub, my skin, because again,
Yeah, it was gross.
I have a thing. I don't recommend you looked it up, and anyone listening, unless you know what it is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Tryptophobia
Holes.
with the holes, and when you saw that skin, I'm like I'm itching. When you saw the skin melting off, and it created those perfect, I'm like, fuck. Fuck. Great scene.
A great
He's like-
scene.
He's like, garlic doesn't
Garlic.
work on me. Try holy water, you bitch.
Yeah, try holy water, bitch. and then, because I remember when he smacks him in the face, I'm like, all right, well, he's not dead at that
Yeah.
moment. And then the dog's like, fuck you, and pushes him in the tub. But how does the dog not fall in the tub? Because the dog jumped in
Jumped
the
in
air.
yeah.
And why didn't he fall
Well,
in the tub?
80s.
Yeah, it's fine.
A lot of-
but you can accept it though, because it's like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of what we like, because again, the flying, but who else? Oh, the other one with the arrow.
Oh, I love that
He's
scene.
like, yeah, but I got another shot.
Oh, that was the best.
But wait, what did he say? He
You
said-
missed, boy.
Yeah, and he's like, something Corey Haim said was like, I got something like that.
He said, yeah, he goes, but I have another shot, and then takes the shot.
Yeah, and I'm like, you idiot! Obviously, it's
Death by stereo. Yeah, death by stereo.
wait. Those were the two. I feel like I'm missing another one.
Well, David's death was him getting onto the antlers.
Well, obviously, yeah, but I wasn't all right.
Well, Marco gets stabbed.
Margot gets
That's
stabbed.
Alexander
Yeah,
Winter. He gets
Then
stabbed.
there was only two
and then
more,
there was
and Dave. There
and
was only
there's-
3 more.
Right. There's 2 more and David.
Okay.
So
all right.
3
I thought
in
it was-
total.
All right. There was, okay.
And then obviously Richie Rich's father.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He gets that fucking big steak, which is funny because we see the grandfather. He had the steak up
Yes.
while he was putting it in, and he put it on his. But he knew the whole time.
I'm like, yo, Pop, like, and but that was,
vampires.
and that's how they ended. Like, yeah, one thing about Santa Clara, the fucking
vampires.
I'm like, oh,
And their faces of. Wait,
the whole time.
but you got to remember when Max comes in, to the house.
Yeah.
the grandfather leaves. He goes.
he
there's-
never saw-
So he sees him
Yeah.
because he ends up. So he gets invited into the house by Michael, and as he's in the house, the next scene, but it's quick. It shows the grandfather shutting the doors in his the taxidermy room that he has. He shuts the doors.
Yeah.
He doesn't come out until he leaves.
So then, but again, then why wouldn't you say something?
You would think that's your daughter.
Yes. Like,
You know he's a vampire, right?
unless maybe he was waiting to strike, maybe like
Maybe
perfect
it's
opportunity.
What? See, it would have been more.
Okay, here's
Maybe
the
he's a
thing.
Van Helsing.
Well, yeah, but also maybe he knew in that moment he couldn't beat him because he got invited in.
That's very possible. Yeah.
He's like, I can't take him now. He got invited.
Well,
in.
they say he says you're rendered powerless the
Yes.
second you invite me in.
Yeah, so that's probably he's like he knew and he's like he probably went behind the thing and was like oh shit. All right, just play
Fuck,
cool.
fuck, fuck,
Just
fuck.
play cool. Just play cool. But
I do, and then when they feed him like the garlic, and he's like, "What's the matter? Garlic? Oh, you don't like garlic, do you?"
but then later on they basically said yeah it doesn't work on him.
Yeah, they said the garlic didn't work.
They did the wrong thing. That was the only test they ever gave him.
No, they gave him the garlic. He threw holy water on him. That's why he goes burns. Right? He goes burns. It's cold. He threw the holy water at him.
Yeah, so-
and it hit him in the crotch. And then they shut the light off, and then Corey Feldman's like he's not glowing, and
Yeah.
then he grabs the mirror, and they turn on, and you see his reflection.
So maybe I guess the rules are just different for the head.
Well, if he's invited in,
That's the thing. That's the thing.
He
None of-
controls everything
nothing,
now.
Yes. Okay. It all starts with being invited in.
Yeah.
That is the catalyst why. And again, as the movie makers, they show you it. It's like we showed you the rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you didn't want to pay attention. Why? Because Kiefer Sutherland, David is just so. And
He's dreamy.
That's what it is. I gotta.
He was dreamy at that
so
time.
you're going for. Well, of course, he's the leader. Look how charismatic. It's not the nerdy old guy. It's the charismatic blonde haired guy that says, "Hey, Michael, come join." And like, at no
Michael.
time did you see, like, they never showed David's weakness. Meaning,
No.
they never showed like any,
It wasn't Star.
yeah, exactly. It would usually where they show like there's a little hint of, oh shit, he must be thing like this. He was powerful and commanding throughout those, but that would make sense why the head guy would choose him.
Yep.
Because like you would never look at me.
Yep.
It's him
Yep.
clearly. And again, you look on the cover art. Guess who's not there? The fucking head vampire.
That's right.
It's
And neither
Kiefer-
is is Corey Feldman. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not on the
Well, yeah.
on the cover either. But Michael's right in the front.
Michael's
Jason
in the
Patrick,
front. Jason Patrick. You see Corey Haim.
Corey Haim over there.
Even Alex Winter.
Alex went to the little kids in it.
Even the little kid.
The little kid is in it. But if you look at all of them,
Yeah.
the person that looks like he's going to kill you
is
Kiefer Sutherland.
Just looking, and it's like, I ain't gay, but I'm like, dude, looks like I can see why the ladies went crazy.
I
Like,
get it. I
you
understand.
just look at him like, dude,
I understand.
Stop looking at him.
But we got to also now, as we're looking at this poster,
Yeah.
this screams 80s.
Yes.
The
Oh.
bikers, there's mad motorcycles in this movie.
Yo, the fuck, that was another one. The fucking dude at the rock concert,
Oh, the saxophone
the
player.
saxophone player,
Yeah.
trying to be mad. I'm like, this is so
Mad
fucking
masculine playing the saxophone.
80s. Man, like, yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, this is so fucking.
And he's a saxophone player for someone. I don't know. I forgot who it was, but he's famous.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He is famous. And so I actually read that what they did was, while filming, every time they had to take a break,
Yeah.
he would do push-ups to get himself to look more buff while playing the saxophone.
That scene, I'm like, yo,
Great.
like, dude, you're doing way too much right now. for
Yeah,
playing
he
the
did a li-
saxophone.
yeah, he was
He
saxing
was
it up.
supposed to be the lead of the group, I guess, right?
He was the main. Yeah, he was the main
but I'm
singer.
like,
Just he
yo,
played the saxophone.
It's like, dude, you're doing way too much. You're just playing the sax. Yeah, and he's doing.
Hey, the long ponytail, and which I gotta be honest with you, they were rocking out too hard on the saxophone. I mean, good playing saxes
Yeah,
are good,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is like
but you're usually not the lead singer.
just screams unnecessary.
Yeah, he did with his purple pants. He had
Like,
purple
over
pants
the-
on.
But again, that's the 80s.
Yeah, it really screams 80s. This movie. They're on a boardwalk. It starts on a carousel.
yeah.
The movie starts on a carousel.
Like the classic horror movie tropes, basically. Like, at a carnival, anything can happen, and that's what
lights going out.
Like it's a horror movie, right?
Yeah.
That's
I would
what-
consider it a supernatural thriller.
Okay, supernatural thriller. But again, knowing what we know of what they've evolved from this point, this is now just part of, again, this is script. Buffy had to come a little while after this.
Very well. This is 87. When did Buffy start? In the 90s.
Well, no, the first movie.
Oh, the movie.
I'm talking about
The movie. Yeah, that was that. Was that 9? That was
might have
90. I don't know. You have to check that one out.
check it
Because
right.
that's who's in that again?
1992.
1992. Okay.
Buffy the Vamp. 19.
Buffy the Vampire
You know they took from this shit.
Of course.
Like one, because this is it now. This is teenagers are vampires. That is what it's no longer.
no, now it's like
Cool.
Michael.
But here you go. Here's the thing. We started from that and ended with Twilight. Yeah. Remember that.
Let's go back to the
go
80s.
back.
That's why we are here.
Something brought it back the right way. I forgot what movie or show brought it back from the Twilight era that did it right once again. It
With
was-
vampires?
Yeah, I think True Blood, I guess.
True Blood was pretty badass. I would say
Yeah.
True Blood was pretty
They
badass.
probably took it back from what. But at that point, I was
Sparkles.
so off vampires.
Yeah, that's the
That,
thing.
again, to me, the standard is Angel. So watching
that's
this,
good.
I see Angel. Like I was like, okay, this is where they did. Oh, of course, Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well.
Right.
But Lost Boys, you can see. All right, this is why they said. But I'm just spoiled because I'm so into that other world that watching this, I can't appreciate. And a lot of movies that we go over, where it's like a lot of these tropes set the stage. There's a movie, big one we'll get into later on down the line where it's like, but that movie was different because I could appreciate that because it was just a good movie overall. This is a
Okay.
good movie, but it's again, I've seen a lot of these tropes.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was like, I was just giving, the biggest thing I gave this movie props for is the twist ending.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because then it's like, okay, I could go back and look at it much differently because it's, the way it laid it out was like, you think this, and of course, everything we've done points you to this direction. So when we throw this ending at you, it's like, and again, because they defeated him way too easy. That was another thing.
But,
David.
oh yeah, I
David
agree.
got beat. I'm like,
Like-
for the head vampire, you just,
For like the head of the boys.
yeah, like that was,
It was
I'm
pretty
re-
easy.
I'm ready for a long, drag out,
Nah,
super
it was a
battle.
power slam.
Yes.
He just went, me too, because he said you got no. It is David's blood because he says it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
have
okay,
my
all right,
blood
all right,
in
yeah.
your veins, and then he goes, mine too, and then he grabs him and he
Yeah,
pushes him down.
yeah. But then I was like, that was easy, not knowing.
That's because he's not the big baddie.
He's not the big bad.
Which I got to tell you though, if the movie was remade, which I hope they don't, but if they remade the movie today, David would last way longer.
Way
It'd be
long-
like he's dead, but he's not dead.
Exactly. Well,
You
you,
know.
put it out there, so now
Yeah, I know.
someone's ears is ringing. It's
Somebody's like, Lost Boys,
you mean
Peter Pan?
No.
No.
Lost Boys.
vampires.
But
Vampires.
that's the point of the name, though. They said they created the name based on a group of boys that never grow up, never go old, never quote
Yep.
unquote mature.
Originally, they were supposed to be all children.
Oh, whew.
They were originally supposed to be all
That
children.
shit would have been crazy.
Now, here's the thing. It was Donner's idea to make them all children.
Yeah.
Joel Schumacher said that if the only way he will direct the film,
Yeah.
continue directing the film, is if they are turned to teenagers. He's like, children, it's not going to work. He didn't think it would work because it's supposed to be, he's like, it's 80s. So it's like,
They were trying to tell.
we need to
teens, yeah.
fit, like, look, Joel Schumacher loves motorcycles, Batman and Robin. He loves motorcycles. And we see it in this movie. A lot of motorcycles in this movie. You can't put kids on motorcycles.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can put teenagers on motorcycles.
what it is.
And I got to think, as growing up watching this
Yeah.
movie, I wouldn't have been that afraid if it was kids.
Really?
I think them being teenagers make you go,
And that was during the era where teenagers were like the rat generation.
They were
They were
badasses.
badasses, and they're dangerous. Don't trust the teenagers.
Yeah.
The teenagers rampant across America.
Yep.
And they were considered right in the rebellious. We are young 80s. We
Yep.
go against all society.
rock and roll.
And marketing wise, I can see. Well, yeah, you have to market because again, that was who was going to see this movie the most with teenagers.
Yep.
So okay, I get it. But
And that's why they love Kiefer Sutherland.
but here's the thing: if they were to remake it, make them kids.
Yeah, I'd be okay
That
with
shit
that.
would be scary
But that's
as fuck.
why the Lost Boys,
Yeah.
because they were supposed to be children, and Peter Pan, Lost Boys,
Yeah.
they were all kids.
Yeah.
So that's Schumacher kept the name because the name just works.
Yeah, it works.
And
they're still,
teenagers, they're still
pretty sure
kids
those
in a way.
By the way, those motherfuckers were not teenagers.
No, they were in their 20s.
Yeah, no, those are grown ass men.
They were definitely in their 20s.
All right, but nah, I'd say make them kids if they were.
If they were to
Yeah.
remake it, I could see that, and I think it would be actually enjoyable. And then you have Kiefer Sutherland as the main vampire. That's fucking awesome.
But here's the thing: we see it a mile away. It's him.
Yeah, right. David. It's David.
He wasn't dead.
David's
That's how
not dead.
See, I don't know what they did with the sequels. Maybe they did that shit.
I hope not. I haven't
he
seen it.
wasn't.
I know Kiefer Sutherland's brother is in the second one. But actually, no. I've checked the cast listing. Kiefer Sutherland's not in any of the
he's not?
movies.
Okay.
That doesn't mean David's not in the movie, though. Because, David could be reincarnated as
Because I know
Steven.
it's Feldman. Feldman is old. Like they
Feldman sticks around, and so does the brother.
Yeah.
The brother.
Corhaim is there, isn't it?
No. Haim's not in any of them. He's dead by then.
Impaled and now there's not a dissolve. He was intended to decide which that I picked up. Oh, in the sequel, The Lost Girls. Script for this and other sequels circulated for years. Joel Schumacher made several attempts at a sequel, but did not come to fruition.
Yeah.
He makes I guess there was a comic
Okay.
which serves as a sequel to the first film and a prequel to Lost. So I guess he was supposed to live or maybe be like a spirit or something, maybe.
God, that would have been so weird.
Because they said he didn't dissolve.
He doesn't dissolve. No.
So it wasn't. He was intended to live then. They never showed him like dissolve away. So yeah, Lost Boys. Yeah, look at him. Oh god.
The Thirst, right?
The first one was the Tribe.
Okay. And you'll see Kiefer Sutherland's brother's name is on there.
Yeah, Angus Sutherland.
Angus Sutherland. What a name. So let's get into our rating for this movie. We'll just go 1 through 5, 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. Or you can give it a negative if you hated it that much. Okay, Mr. Ayton, so this is the first time you've ever seen this movie. I'm interested in hearing your rating and why.
All right, so I'm gonna give this a 3.
Okay.
A 3, and a lot of it is because I'm already spoiled by seeing its predecessors. No, its successors.
Successors, yeah.
Oof.
Remember, we're going back. We're growing
back.
up
Yes,
again.
You're growing up. So I've seen its successes and I've lived with what its successors have done. So going back, I cannot appreciate it. I can understand it, but I can't appreciate because I've seen what it's risen into, what it could be. So the best I can say is I understand why this was big at the time, like you said, because based on the way vampires were depicted before this. I get that. Because I've lived with Angel. I've lived with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've sadly experienced Twilight, as bad as it could be. I've seen fucking Underworld.
Underworld, yeah.
I'm like, what movie am I trying to say made them cool again? Underworld made them cool again. Seen Underworld. So I've seen everything in Zing. Now, going back now, the reason why I get more, because again, it's a very good movie. Mm-hmm. I see like the appeal of Haim, Feldman, and I could see like and a lot of these ratings, and when I look at these, I have to look at the time period.
Okay.
What was expected. So like it's very hard to depict, but I can see if it's found like grounded, yeah, I can see it. And again, that twist at the end, because I was almost gonna be like, oh, it would have been lower if not for that twist for me.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
It would have been. I would have gave it like 2.5.
Okay.
Because like, all right, it was just, but I don't see that. That now frames the whole movie differently. Mm-hmm. And because of that twist, I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, all right. That's a pretty good way to go. I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay.
Now the reason and it's funny because like this is the first time you've watched it. This is like I've maybe surpassed 50 times watching this movie. I literally grew up watching this movie. Yeah, my parents are bikers. Fucking. I don't know if they've seen this movie. It's very possible they may have went to the drive and seen them. The drive-through. Well, not drive-through. What was it? The drive-in. The drive-in to watch. It's possible.
He had a leather jacket and had.
He's on a motorcycle. My dad used to ride the motorcycles.
Yeah,
He had the leather jacket.
Right in his,
So it's possible he may have seen this. But funny enough, when I was rewatching it, I watched it Friday and I watched it again last night.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching a made-for-TV movie, though, in a weird sense. Like I was like, and I guess because you didn't see too much gore.
Yeah.
You got a little bit when they attacked them when they were playing Walk This Way, the Run DMC version. A little bit of blood, not too much, until the kills. Like then it gets a little more.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, we're picking up now.
Yeah, they picked it up at that moment. But I felt like the fact that it's very easy to kill David.
Yeah.
Like to me, even though I know he's not the head guy, but you focused on him so much that it was literally a body slam that killed him.
Yes.
And he got impaled. I get it. He got impaled, but it was that did it. A body slam.
Yeah.
You know,
Too easy.
it was too simple. I felt,
Yeah.
and the cheesy lines. I mean, it's the 80s.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was watching a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
So I gave it 3.5 in that sense. But alrighty then. So that's us talking about The Lost Boys. But now, Mr. A-Town, we got to talk about some factual facts.
Yes.
Let's talk about some factual facts for this movie. I got a couple right here I would think maybe you might find very interesting. Did you know that this movie was only filmed in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes
Made for
sense.
TV movie.
Yes, makes sense.
Made for TV movie. Did you know that this is the first film for Feldman and Haim
Together?
together? This is the first time
Really?
they were in
and
a
at
movie
this point,
together.
I'm thinking they were already on Feldman and Haim.
Yep. So, and bringing back to originally what I mentioned, that the original screenplay was supposed to be a bunch of Goonie type 5th, 6th grade kid vampires. It was originally supposed to be it.
That's why they took them. And they was like, oh, they fit so well in the last one.
Yeah, well, pretty much. But again, I think what you said of the whole fact of them maybe doing it again if they made it into kids, because they could push it a little bit.
The envelope with kids, yeah.
Did you know that Sam, or Corey Haim, he has a poster of Rob Lowe on the outside of his closet door? On the DVD commentary, Joel Schumacher says that it was actually supposed to be a picture of St. Elmo's Fire because he directed it.
I
didn't know that.
What did Rob Lowe do around that time to make it? Say them? Okay, yeah.
Rob Lowe was in St. Elmo's Fire.
No, yeah.
And
Damn, Rob Lowe's around.
Outsiders, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's something. I was thinking more of, it's probably Outsiders.
Outsiders he was in.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of shit back then, though. That was Rob Lowe's
he's
days.
considered one to be one because it maintained throughout.
Agreed. Let's see what else we got here. This is interesting. In Max's video store, it was a record video store, you can see one copy of the Goonies.
Of course.
Makes sense.
Of course.
It makes perfect sense. Let's see. What else we got? Anything here? Oh, I didn't know this. Did not know this. This movie invented the phrase "vamp out," which is used in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
There you go. The movie or this TV show?
The TV series.
Well, Whedon was clearly a big fan, so
Yes.
so I'm pretty sure a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer made its way to this.
Let's see. Anything more interesting here? Let's see here. According. No, it's pretty much sticking on the same ones. Oh, that's interesting. The names of the Frog Brothers, which was,
that's what they
Corey
call
Feldman.
and that's what they call the sequel comic, Rise of the Frogs.
Rise of the Frogs.
Yeah.
It was Edgar and Allen, and it references
Edgar
Allan
Allan
Poe
Yes.
because he was a
Nevermore.
well-known writer of horror fiction.
Beating of the heart, that dead infernal heart.
So, and like mentioned in the beginning of the episode, we mentioned that Richard Donner originally was intended to direct the movie,
Yeah.
but he moved on to do another movie I'm sure we're going to talk about in 1987, Lethal Weapon. So that's your factual facts on The Lost Boys. So that's it.
Yeah.
We're done. We did it. Our first movie in 1987 with a great choice by Mr. A-Town Ryan. I'm, again, very surprised that you never actually seen this
Never actually
movie.
seen it.
But it's now you have.
That's what I like. I like this is going to open me up to just things I was like, put on the back burner. Oh, now I'm into it.
That's
It's funny
good.
because one of my coworkers he's obsessed with this movie.
Really?
So we almost watched it at work because again,
Oh, that'd have been awesome.
but something happened that stopped us. Now I know what it was meant to be. But he was obsessed with this movie.
A lot of people are. It's a very cult classic.
Yeah, and he was right out of that age group. He was like, and I think he's like 43 now. So that's right,
Yep.
right in his wheelhouse.
He was there.
Yeah, he was into it.
All right. Well, that means now it is time to say goodbye. We'll be back next week with a brand new movie from 1987. We're not going to tell you what that movie is right now.
Because you're going to have to find out when we post it up on our Instagram page, or you could just go search on Instagram, Growing Up with Movies, and you'll see me and Mr. A-Town's our crazy faces as we are in that Hall Pass poster.
That's what that movie was.
That was Hall Pass,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
That was Hall Pass. So, all right, it's time to say goodbye. So we'll start off with Mr. A-Town. Ryan?
This is fun, a great start. Again, I'm looking forward to watching. Again, a lot of these movies I've seen again, but now I get to watch through this analytical context. Really get into it.
Yeah.
All right, I love the segments, and I like it. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a really good time. I'm very excited about next week. I picked the movie for next week.
Yes.
You already know that, of course.
Yes.
But they don't. You'll find out next week. All right, my name is Timon James, a.k.a. Mr. Oh So Smooth. Thank you so much for listening to Growing Up with Movies, a second round's entertainment production. As you know, this round of entertainment is always on us.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.